Okay, here it is. This is the team that I thought we were going to before. Feast your eyes on the New England Patriots draft. I like how someone described it. I think this might have been Dane Brugler who actually described it this way on day one, where, yeah, I'm kind of surprised by the cap space too. The Chargers cap space too, 1 and 11. But Dane Brugler was like, yeah, the Patriots just have 15 guys, maybe 20 on their draft board, and then they'll just draft them in order. And they don't care when they go, but that's how you get Cole Strange in the first round. And I don't know. It's funny watching people go crazy about the way the Patriots operate in the draft, but they pick their guys and they go. Tyquan Thornton, Tyquan Thornton is a fast boy, isn't he? He's
he ran a 4.28 at the combine.
Yeah.
He's in one of those Baylor track boys at the combine.
Yeah. Oh, of course, I should have known. So
he actually had a full scholarship to LSU before he decided on playing football at Baylor. To run track.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, what? I mean, he's not really a what do you call it? A deep guy, is he? Is he more of a slot than a speed guy?
No, he's a deep guy. He's 6'2". He's kind of one of those bigger
guys.
Big.
He's big.
Yeah, he's big.
I didn't know he was that big.
He's large. Tyquan Thornton's an interesting guy. He had the smallest wrists in the entire combine.
Smallest wrists?
And the second smallest hands for a receiver.
Huh.
For a guy who's 6'2", that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah.
He has some toughness questions marks. I would not have taken him in the second round. I wrote about him. I like him a lot, but I wouldn't have taken him there.
But hey, he was one of their 20 guys, so just like Bailey Zappi before Sam Howell. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, I just would not have taken him there. You're gonna have to be more specific than that. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Cole Strange, he showed out at the Senior Bowl. He actually played really well against Kentucky too in their game. But yeah, relative unknown. People had him late because of that, but he's a good player. He's strong. He has good hips. Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be okay, and he fits well into that. What's that offensive line coach's name? Sotomaki or something. Yeah,
I couldn't tell you. But...
Yeah. So he might have retired actually, but anyway, that's a good system. They're good. Yeah, they're fine. Marcus Jones was one of my favorite players in this draft. He actually didn't participate in the pre-draft process because he had surgery on both shoulders, same as me, which is cool.
Nice.
But Marcus Jones is one of those twitched up slot corners. He's 5'10", 5'9", tiny kid, but just twitched up, crazy. No one catches the ball on him. Just no one. It just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Jones is a little bit of a head scratcher. He was probably a little later. He only runs a 4.5, so one of those Pac-12 tough guys.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce Strong was a really fun running back to watch. Super fast, super twitchy. He is a jackrabbit. South Dakota jackrabbit. He is like a jackrabbit. He runs around like that.
Can he catch passes? Is he a pass catching guy?
Passes.
Okay.
He's okay. Yeah.
So
Bailey Zappi I wrote about as well. Sorry, I missed that. What?
Oh, you could fill a James White role kind of deal.
Oh yeah. He's a James White.
Yeah. Sorry, Bailey Zappi. Yeah.
Bailey Zappi averaged over 300 yards a game over his entire career, 140 touchdowns to 50 interceptions in 51 games. That is some video game numbers right there.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be a high-end backup.
Yeah, he's going to be a high-end backup, and frankly, if Mac Jones gets hurt, I think their passing offense might unlock a little bit. Maybe that's just me, but good player. I liked Bailey's. The questions are about his processor, but if they just give him RPOs to run in the NFL too, I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, some role players below that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Any other thoughts, or are we good to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yep.
Okay. New York Jets. I liked this draft a lot. That is not really a hot take, but I think they improved
interesting
a
that
lot.
they didn't have any later picks. Is there a second slide? Or
No,
did they really not pick?
they really only had one through four.
Huh.
I'll
Yeah,
double check just to be certain, but like,
that's interesting. Yeah, I know. I
yeah.
believe it. Sauce is a 6'3" corner. The dude cannot turn. No one at 6'3" can turn, but like he can't turn, but he's 6'3", and he'll guard you. He's sticky. It was really funny watching him versus Calvin Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Calvin Austin is 5'7" and Sauce Gardner is 6. It was like watching your nephew play against your uncle at Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl. You know, like
Yeah.
it was funny. It was funny to watch. It was a good time. And Calvin Austin actually didn't, acquitted himself fairly well in that game. So
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson was my top receiver.
Yep. Real good. Real good.
He's good. He's not. I mean, the best wide receiver on that Ohio State team is going to come out next year. So in Jackson Smith, I can't pronounce.
Oh, that was actually. Yeah. Sorry. Can you repeat the name again? I missed the name, but
Jackson Smith in Jigba or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually funny because the Ravens, I listened to their press conference after day 3 as I was putting these slides together, and the Ravens threw some shade on this wide receiver class this year. They were like, yeah, we didn't really love any of the wide receivers in this class, like, which is insane. Don't get me wrong, I think this wide receiver class is worse than last year's. Like, last year's was ridiculous. But, like, can you really call this wide receiver class bad? Like, I don't know.
It was bad compared to the past 2 years, which we had,
which was insane.
Unreal talent in
right.
the draft.
And so, like...
No, I don't blame them for saying that, because, especially at the range they were drafting, they weren't going to get any of the good guys. And I get it. Like, Chris Olave has his major flaws. Drake London, I was down on. And, like, Jameson Williams coming off an ACL is the fastest guy in the draft. And it was like, oh, like, this is weird to do this. So, like,
sure.
Like, I get it. I do. And I think there are some good wide receivers coming out next year, so they'll be fine. But yeah, the Ravens might be looking for some wide receiver help.
Yeah, I think it's ironic for them to say that, but that's okay.
Anyway, but yeah, Garrett Wilson, good route runner. He tracks the ball really well. In that wide open Ohio State offense, he's a good player. My number one receiver in this class, Jermaine Johnson. So people were surprised he fell all the way to 36. I was not. Jermaine Johnson, for anyone who's watched Florida State football, knows he can't run defend to save his life. He's fine. He's a good pass rusher, but he can't stop anything on the run. So whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And generally, I'm against drafting running backs in the top 2 rounds, probably. But Breece Hall was my number one running back. A lot of people like Kenneth Walker above him, but I liked Breece Hall better. He was just a little more physical and had slightly better vision. But he's a good running back. On a team that didn't really have a running back, they were trotting Ty Johnson out there sometimes, and that's bad.
Let's go, baby.
So
as a Maryland fan,
yeah, our boy Ty Johnson.
We gotta stay loyal.
But yeah, no, they were trotting. Lord knows who out there. So Breece Hall was a very good pick there.
Jeremy Ruckert's solid.
Rucker, he's interesting, right? Like he caught, I think he caught like 50 passes in his entire career. Like in college, he was not a major passing threat. But people say he has the potential to, and he doesn't block well enough to only have caught 50 passes in college. Like, so a lot of projection here, but he looks like your stereotypical NFL tight end. So there's a lot of projection going on here. But
sure,
he's a good player. Like I along with a lot of people wanted Jeremy Ruckert, and just had to spend some premium pick on him. But he runs fairly well. He once he squares someone up, he can block them. Like a good player. He's fine. It's just a lot of projection with him. Just a lot of projection.
Sure. I don't really have thoughts on.
Record, I can look it up.
Okay, yeah. I don't really have any particular thoughts on Max Mitchell or Michael Clemens, but like they, I don't know, they're just like depth pieces, so it's fine. I like it's whatever. Throw your
He's a
darts at
6'5" and a
tackles.
half.
6'5.5". Okay, nice.
But yeah, I actually do have thoughts on Max Mitchell. He's a good, smart guy. He just lacks a butt. He'll be
A lot
he'll
of
be
guys this
a
draft black butts. For you.
yeah. He's a little light in the butt. You know, playing for the Raging Cajuns,
Mm-hmm.
uh, of Louisiana. Uh,
University
yeah,
of baby.
he's good. He'll step right in and be their swing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because Mekhi Becton might not come back right away. Mekhi Becton weighed in at 400 pounds at some point last year, even though
Oof.
he was playing. You know, so
Oof.
like, oh, like yeah,
Yeah.
there's some issues there. So yeah,
Yeah.
and Clemens is not a bad player either. I think that's a little bit high for him, but that's okay.
Yep. Okay. Any other thoughts on the Jets before we move on to the Bills?
Not particularly.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're building. I think they're making progress here. Like, I think this is a really good foundation draft for uh, Robert Sala. Like, I think this is good.
Yeah, they saved some jobs with this draft. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. On to Buffalo. Uh, Kyrie Elam's fine. James Cook is a bit early, I think. Uh,
Don't tell Tyler Browning that. But yeah.
oh no. Terrell Bernard, I don't have particular feelings about. Khalil Shakir is also early, I think. If I'm thinking of the right player. Like, he's fine, but, like, I don't know. Matt Areza, there you go. Punt God. Uh, and then the other guys, I don't really have a ton of feelings about. I don't really, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I like Kyrie Elam at 23 though. I think that's solid.
Yeah.
I think that's about where he belonged, and you know, he'll help them out a lot. He'll, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll start from the bottom. Balin Spector was like the middle linebacker for a long time in that defense. I mean, not after James Skalski, the two of them were together a long time in that Clemson defense. You know,
Mm-hmm.
slightly unathletic white linebackers. But
Mm-hmm.
he has limited use out there, but he in a pinch he can definitely contribute. Luke Tenuta is his anchor is a little weak, but he's got some movement potential.
Mm-hmm.
Punt God, the reason why, yeah, we already talked about the reason why he fell so far was because he was out kicking his coverage. But major props for a guy who his first tweet after getting drafted by the Bills
Oh
is,
no.
"Where's the nearest table at?" So he knows where he's going. It's a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Khalil Shakir, I actually liked him a lot. Round 5 is not early for Khalil Shakir. He's a good player.
Okay.
He's roughly about 6 feet tall, decent speed. Boise State kid, runs pretty good routes. Has a real feel for like zone, finding holes in zones. Like he's like not a sudden athlete, but he finds his way to be open. Like good player, good player.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about Terrell Bernard. He's like a lot like Malcolm Rodriguez in my opinion. He's like small, undersized Big 12 linebacker that can run and hit, but like you know. Malcolm Rodriguez was picked 99 picks later, and I think they're similar players. So
Mm-hmm.
that tells you what that is. James Cook, maybe a little early, but like I actually, Tyler Browning, one of the guys at Blue Chip Scouting, he's the president. I call him the president of the James Cook fan club. He's a good player. James
Uh-huh.
Cook is not Dalvin Cook. He's Dalvin Cook's little younger brother. He is
Yeah.
not Dalvin Cook. He is he's a better receiving back than he is just a normal running back, but he can play on like third and longs. Like that's his niche. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's going to take screens to the house. He's a good receiver that he can basically run routes, similar to some of the best receiving backs out there, like Christian McCaffrey, maybe. Like maybe I mean not to that level, but he's that type where you can use him anywhere. So good player. Kyrie Elam. A lot of people were a little worried he's a little handsy, but he's tall. He's fast. does a great job of staying in phase. Like he's always in phase. Like he doesn't break out of it very often. So really, really good player.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
Yep. Okay. All good. Any other thoughts? I'm trying to think.
I mean, the
Nothing
Bills are
else that
Bills are
springs to mind.
just building their team the right way. It's
Yeah.
very obvious, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good. Yeah.
They're filling needs, filling holes.
Yeah.
They're gonna be monsters. Like they're gonna be monsters for a
It's gonna
while.
be tough. And Khalil Shakir, actually look for him to contribute pretty soon as he
Really?
gets buffed.
How?
Yeah.
Where do you project him? Do you project him at slot or do you project him at not the opposite of what Stephon Diggs does?
He can play either. He can play either, but he'll be that fourth receiver in the whenever they run the spread out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh wait,
Because they,
they
as you
still
see,
have Gabe Davis. They still have as a deep guy. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, Gabriel Davis. Okay.
He
I
caught
will
like
say this
four
though,
touchdowns in a
they
playoff
still
game.
don't,
He has to be good, right?
they still don't have their bell cow running back. Is my point though.
Yes, I agree with that.
And so because they still don't have that guy, they're just gonna run 10 personnel out there all the time. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. We are on to our last division. Our last 4 teams. Oh, no,
we
we're
kind of
not.
mixed up
I'm
the
wrong.
last couple divisions.
What's up?
We actually mixed up the last couple divisions.
Wait, what do you mean?
We
Oh.
had the Patriots a couple teams ago, and Houston. Yeah, we're mixing up the AFC a lot.
Wait,
Other
no,
than the
wait,
AFC
no.
West.
We did AFC West. We did it. We AFC North, then AFC West, and then we just are about to finish up the AFC East, and then the AFC South is after.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It is late. You were right.
Regardless, that's okay. Miami Dolphins. This is an easy one. We can breathe through it. Channing Tindall, fine.
He's a good player. He's probably a little slow on the uptake, but once he gets going, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. He was the
Eric,
one
is
that
your
next division. He was Channing Tindall was the guy that N'Kobe Dean was yelling at during the title game.
Nice. Love that. Good trivia.
Yeah. I mean, he was just like, focus up, dude, and he played a lot better, and he has really good first step. Like Channing Tindall is a good player. Eric Ezukanma is actually not bad. He's like 6'2". He's a bigger receiver. He's not a great cutter. He's not a great turner. He's not a great route runner, but he finds ways to get yards. Like he had weird production because like the production was always coming and it shouldn't have been there. Like, yeah. So okay. I and then Skylar Thompson. I'm surprised he was drafted. Teams really didn't want to have to fight
squat
for
arms.
Yeah. He camp arms. Like the
yeah.
people really didn't want to fight for their camp arms. So Skylar Thompson's a good player. Really productive in college, but he's not going to be NFL or anything. He's probably the closest to Taysom Hill in this class out of any player.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Also, 1-11. The Jaguars are going to be the very last team that we look at. So, I don't know if that's what you were referring to with your chat, but it's on its way. It's just at the very, very end. Yep. That be the Dolphins. I forget why they lost other picks. What happened? Who did they give them up for?
Tyreek Hill.
Thank you. Yep, Tyreek Hill. Okay. We'll see. It just relies on Tua, so there you go.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, whoops.